Yeah, I'm mostly into, I think, like English Renaissance composers, particularly because they they were more into kind of like amateur music and people performing music for themselves, not like the grand high opera, where you get to behold a spectacle, but not so much participate in the music. And so it's very much like watching TV rather than having random people show up in a cafe and ask to record you.
I hate to switch the subject, but could you explain the thing about the straw man? That was really helpful.
Oh, I don't know. I was just ranting at my friend.
So is it?
Yes. We were talking about the presidential election, which is apparently a hot topic, according to some people. But I have a hypothesis that none of the people who anybody are talking about right now
yeah.
anything to do with the actual election.
Right.
They are like straw men, and as I've heard somebody say, take this straw man and burn it, as in go attack this argument that has nothing to actually do with what we're talking about.
Wow.
But if I can get you over there, now I'm free to be correct in the argument. Or I can lead you around and do some Aikido on you.
And then the straw man is kind of the absurd, something so absurd that it couldn't possibly be valid.
So if there is like actually say a Republican candidate who is at all reasonable, it will be like astonishing. Like, wow, you make so much sense. Like you made a sentence that
yes
had a verb and not a bunch of clauses that weren't related to each other and lots of stuttering.
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't you say like, wow, who is this great man? And I was going to say vote Democratic before, but now since you seem so reasonable, I may as well go for that. And so I'm hypothesizing that nobody who's in the media right now, as far as a Republican candidate, will be at all anywhere near the actual race. They're the pregame show.
Right. Are you interested in joining my student club, Republicans for WikiLeaks? It's sort of kind of like a libertarian focus on how Republicans love WikiLeaks too.
I tried to avoid anything to do with politics.
Yeah.
I just think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
And I feel like my participation won't add anything because there are great powers that can convince people of lots of nonsense.
Right.
I don't feel like I can convince people of lots of nonsense. That's fun.
Yeah. Do you think I can convincingly do straight-faced Republicans for WikiLeaks?
I think if you develop and practice the character.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit the big red button to turn it off, you would crack up.
Because like two of my biggest heroes are Karl Rove and Julian Assange, and they're basically at war right now in a big mud wrestling competition that involves a bunch of international courts. Yeah.
International bikinis?
I don't know. Are they wearing them? Would you like that? I don't know.
The image is helpful.
I'm all for exploiting men in the future because I think we've had too much of a male-dominated exploitation of women kind of dynamic, and I think one of the fundraising ideas I had was programmers, like sort of like hustler for programmers, because Larry Flint had made a large contribution to WikiLeaks, or somewhat large, and I was kind of like, oh man, more exploitation of women. Well, how about we do like the Pirate Bay takes off their clothes, and it could be all the programmers, and like, do you really want to see that is then another issue. But I think there might be a market.
Who would.
I didn't know this about you, that Karl Rove was one of your heroes. Could you please explain why?
Well, he started with direct mail. He was basically replicating the power of the internet and blogosphere back in the, I think it's like the 80s and the early 90s with his direct mail campaigns to basically, it's sort of like if you could do everything before.
M-A-I-L or M-A-L-E?
Yes, that's a good point.
Direct mail.
Direct mail. He was very much into direct mail in terms of getting propagandistic. It's as a propagandist, I admire him because he's very effective. Like is racist. I'm not aligned with his racial views about Obama, but I think what he's able to do in terms of
Just throwing that out there.
wow. So yeah. Yeah, so I mean, for a while I signed up for his newsletter, but getting like hit every day with a Karl Rove blog post about why Obama is destroying the universe and destroying, like, the Iraq war budget is all Obama's fault now. Like, right? That was.
I mean, he is the president.
Yeah.
Is he not the president?
But I'm not convinced Karl Rove actually exists. I've seen photographs with him with the people in Sweden who framed Assange, but.
You can find lots of stock photography in the
Yeah, right. How do I know it wasn't manipulated? Right, right. So, how do you feel about this interview process?
I feel like I'm just talking to you.
Who's your fashion inspiration? Because, I mean, honestly, I'm really that superficial. Yeah, you're beautiful.
Valley Village.
Valley Village.
Usually Valley Village from a small town within 30 minutes of Portland.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
9/11 was an inside job.
Did 9/11 happen at Valley Village? No.
Well, so the president.
This question has nothing to do.
The president.
I did watch a conspiracy theory video about that. In that it was a theory about conspiracy.
Do you think this is?
Saying one
Do you
way or
think
the
this is
other.
a communist newspaper here? Is my school supporting communism or Condoleezza Rice? Because I think it's doing both. It's kind of got a foot in its door.
Something is a manifesto doesn't mean that it's communist.
And just because it's red doesn't mean it's communist. It could also mean Republican.
Or blazers.
Or blazers. Wow. So.
Do you believe that music can change the world?
I believe music reflects changes in the world, but not in and of itself. For example,
Wow.
We are the world, we are the people. That didn't actually really bring anybody together. That made people think about being brought together, but not.
Do you think the Rothschild family will sponsor a green ecotopic revolution at the Frontline Club? I want this club to go completely raw foods, wheatgrass, carrot juice. Not like the American Frontline. It's just like a thought group club. It's a think tank based. Fleas. Frontline.
Yeah, you put it on your cat's neck.
The front line of flea protection.
I don't know if I'd go to that.
Or do you think WikiLeaks will merge with the Animal Liberation Front?
I don't think I have any information to base any speculation.
Is that real for?
It is real, but it's not real.
Okay.
It's yeah.
So you actually nobody had to
$4.
kill an animal to.
Somebody had to kill an animal, but it wasn't to make this.
Can you tell me a little bit about the English riots, how it affected you?
There were riots in England? Was that about
Or Murdoch's pie in the face? Would you personally throw a pie in the face of Rupert Murdoch if you had a chance? Or if you,
so, but
yeah, the right setting.
I would also throw a pie in your face if I had a chance, just because it would be really funny.
Oh, in my face?
Yeah.
Awesome! Hell yeah! High five! Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you. A vegan, dietary restrictions, like a mess. Well, can you imagine? That would be a wonderful homicide case, is that like death by nut allergies, asphyxiation or like rush to the...
Would you like to organize a group of pie in the face hitmen and hitwomen?
Is there anyone in Portland that needs a pie?
I work with
find out dietary restrictions of the victims.
I'm kind of elitist. I really go for I don't even want to mess with these Portland people.
If you wanted to find out
the Portland criminals.
Of the victims, then
by stalking them and watching what they...
Would you like to join my bedbug protest over at The View? They're harvesting federal financial aid into this bedbug racket in the bedbug studies program of Portland State University. Have you got to go?
I think I do.
Okay.
Well, that means